8:20 on a rainy, blame it on the rain, Monday morning. You're watching Breakfast Television, and we're kicking things off this week with our coverage of the upcoming elections with Melanie Joly. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Joan.
Okay, so there's so much to get through, so we're just going to dive right in. You had and have a very successful career as a lawyer. You worked in PR as well. You make a good living. Those numbers came out. What possesses someone to take on a challenge like this, given the fact that our city at this point is steeped in corruption? This is no easy task that you want to take on, and you don't have the political experience that other people have.
Well, actually, I think people don't want political experience right now. They want people that have the courage of their convictions. And I was frustrated with the state of our city. And living in Montreal is a choice. I decided to choose to live in Montreal. And I don't accept the fact that our politics is such in a bad state. And so I decided to completely change things. I created a fantastic team, an amazing program, and I'm willing to give the best I have and the best years of my life dedicated to basically revamp this city.
Now, it's campaign season, everyone. A lot of you all of you are out there in the media. You're repeating your platform lines. Essentially, you're all going for similar things: transparency. You're working on transit. So I'm going to ask you to not repeat those things. I'm going to say the same thing to all the other candidates. And one of my biggest questions, and I get this a lot when we discuss this with friends, is the Charbonneau Commission has shown one thing, and one thing specifically is that organized crime, mafia, corruption has its hands in a lot of things. I mean, and these are violent people. These are not good people, the people who are doing these things. It is a daunting task for anyone. It is a scary task. How can you run a city? Can you make Montreal honest, and how?
Yes, I think so. Well, first of all, I agree with you. I'm convinced that there's still corruption in Montreal, and it's a systemic corruption. And we inspired ourselves from what was being done elsewhere, and what New York did to get rid of corruption, what Michael Bloomberg did. He made sure that all the information the city has becomes public. So it's not only creating an inspector general job or whatsoever. You need to make sure that everybody have access to information, that there's no privileged ones having access to information, because in that context, information is power. And you need to make sure that through the web, through social media, people have access, so that way you have 1.2 million inspector general.
But the thing is people will say, yes, that's good, the transparency, but we are talking about a lot of organized crime here. It's in the name, organized crime. It's a difficult task, and some people will say you need the political experience, or you need the experience to do it, and you're saying
you need the credibility and the courage to go against the system. And that's why you need a lot of newcomers, and you need people that are not scared of taking risks. And I'm not scared of taking risks. And I'm not scared of my, how can I say, of any threats.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not. And we were not financed or subsidized by any interest groups from the beginning. And that's why I'm very happy of our integrity and the way we've been doing things. And you know what? I think that the fact of having a lot of transparency is just not talking about it. It's acting in accordance with it. And that takes a lot of courage, and that will be my #1 priority. I've been talking about it. We have the credibility to make sure that that plan is well executed. I'll name also a chief digital officer to really make sure that all the information becomes public. And I'll work with my public servants, because it's a change of mentality, it's a change of culture at City Hall and within the administration, but it's for the benefits of Montrealers.
So we have a lot of guest columnists on the show. We have our friends from L'Actualité, Le Devoir, and you've come up quite a bit, because you started off as the dark horse, then you're a contender, as they say now. And there's an expression that's been coined, it's the Joly factor. A lot of people say it's a newcomer. A lot of people say, well, she's so smart, she looks great. There's all these things going around. How do you describe the Joly factor? How do you explain your sudden surge in popularity? Well,
there's two things. I think that when you're in a campaign like that, and in August I decided that process was as important as the end. So every day is important. and you need to be well in your mind and your heart. And I know I'm doing the right thing. So maybe that's it. It's just the fact of being myself, and not playing an old politician or somebody that people would want me to be, but just being myself. And I think that's what people are looking for. They're looking for authenticity, and that's what I think I'm being. I hope so. This morning, Joanne.
I can feel it. I can feel it. Yes, thank you for waking up this early. Melanie Joly, we wish you all the luck.
Thank you.
And continued success. Thank you so much for joining us. We will be all of the other candidates will be sitting right where you're sitting through the rest of the week.
The place will be warm.
The place will be warm. Okay, thank you so much, Melanie Joly. Guys, stay tuned. You're watching Breakfast Television only on City.